So you see what I mean? I'm doing this video because there might be some Christians who might be very disappointed to find that the rapture did not occur at the beginning of the tribulation. There's a lot of word going around that the rapture may occur in September, but do not subscribe to this point of view. The rapture can occur, and the Bible is telling us here, anytime during the Great Tribulation. But we will be raptured out of the tribulation at some point, when God deems it necessary. Because only God knows then, after all, when the rapture is going to occur. I feel that the Revelation 12 sign is heralding the beginning of the Great Tribulation. And why do I say that? Here we have Revelation chapter 12. And you know that in Revelation chapter 12, there's the Revelation 12 sign, which we know it's happening from 21st September till 5th October. Now let's go down to verse 9. What's happening immediately after that sign is manifest in the sky, the Revelation 12 sign? And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole earth. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So that would be the 1/3 of the angelic host. They were cast out with him. So, once Satan and his fallen angels are cast out here onto earth, do you think it's going to be a bed of roses? No, certainly not. In fact, it will be the opposite. It's going to be literally when hell breaks loose. Literally. So, logically, yes, that's when the Great Tribulation will start, because Satan will be here on earth. He's not going back to and fro, as he was before, as Job quotes, but he will be here on earth. Let's carry on with our reading. So, verse 21, then if anyone says to you, look, here is the Christ, or here he is, do not believe it, for false Christs and false prophets will rise and show signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. Yes, false signs and wonders to deceive. Well, what comes to my mind right now, these Marian apparitions, so-called Mary, appearing to people and performing signs and wonders. Mary and the people who died, the saints, are now in heaven. They're not coming back to and fro, from heaven to earth, to and fro. The only entity who is coming to and fro before the Great Tribulation is Satan. Please, do not be deceived. Don't think that Jesus is going to send Mary as his messenger. Jesus has messengers to pass messages. He has his own angels. He doesn't need to send Mary down. Mary is in heaven now. She's not coming here and appearing to people. Verse 23, but take heed. See, I have told you all things beforehand. Verse 24, but in those days, after that tribulation, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give his light. And indeed, if you had to see satellite images of the sun, the SDO, which comes to mind, and the other satellites which study the sun, there are large coronal holes. We're talking about coronal holes which are 33% of the entire surface of the sun and greater. And where these coronal holes are, it's dark, it's black. In fact, Christ says that the sun, in another chapter, he says the sun will be as black as sackcloth. So the sun is getting these large coronal holes, and the light is diminishing. So the moon eventually will not give his light. If you tell me, how is it possible that the sun's light is diminishing? You need to know that NASA and even the European Space Agency have patents for what is called a sun simulator. It's nothing special. It's basically an artificial device which is in geosynchronous orbit, which means it is orbiting in front of the sun, not directly in front of it. This satellite will be closer to Earth, and it's throwing light. It's probably solar operated. There's a lot of lenses and mirrors to direct the light down to Earth and magnify the effect. So when our sun is diminishing its output, people here on Earth will be deceived. They don't realize what's happening. But the Lord tells us the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. The stars of heaven will fall and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. Verse 26, then they will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. Verse 27, and then he will send his angels and gather together his elect from the four winds, from the farthest part of earth to the farthest part of heaven. His elect, the angels will gather them. That's describing the rapture. Verse 29, now learn this parable from the fig tree. When its branch has already become tender and puts forth leaves, you know that summer is near. Verse 29, so you also, when you see these things happening, know that it is near, at the doors. Verse 30, assuredly I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away till all these things take place. And this generation he's referring to is our generation, this last generation. Verse 31, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will by no means pass away. This is one of my favorite verses in the Bible, I must admit. Verse 32, but of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Imagine, the Son is waiting for his Father to tell him when time is up. Verse 33, take heed, watch and pray, for you do not know when the time is. Verse 34, it is like a man going to a far country who left his house and gave authority to his servants, and to each his work, and commanded the doorkeeper to watch. Verse 35, watch therefore, for you do not know when the master of the house is coming, in the evening, at midnight, at the crowing of the rooster, or in the morning. Verse 36, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. Verse 37, and what I say to you, I say to all, watch. Didn't our Lord say he will come at a time when we think not? All right? He will come when we are not expecting him. So, what did he say here? He told us to watch and to pray unceasingly. I hope this reading has blessed you, brothers and sisters in Christ. I pray that if this reading has blessed you, that you share it with others. Thank you for watching.